Have you ever had someone tell you that your dream is too big for you? I'm Jemima, I'm 19, and I was born in Spain, in Barcelona to be exact, to Nigerian parents. And my sisters and I have been blessed enough to have received just under £1 million worth of funded education. Yet one teacher almost convinced me to give up on everything. In this video, I am giving the full story of why I started Kingdom Scholars, why I believe God has a plan for your education. No one else gets to decide. So I was born in Barcelona with Nigerian parents in a small town in un pueblo pequeño, like a small town. And yeah, my early years were basically being in a small village, knowing my friends, my family, and not much more about the world and what was out there. Just the people in my local community. I had a very simple, very homey and well cared for upbringing and early childhood. It was no more than 3,000 people in a small village where everyone knew their friends, everyone knew their parents, their families. I knew where my friends lived, I knew the school they went to, I knew everything. We all went to the same primary school, there was only one. We all went to the same hospital, there was only one. We all went to the same sports center, which was only one, the same library as well. We were all together and very connected with the same community background. We lived in a village where there wasn't a lot of diversity, but it was an incredible community that really accepted us. We had the Catalan culture because we lived in Barcelona, and we also had the Spanish culture. So we would celebrate things like Caratío or Carnestoltas, all these different cultural traditions in Barcelona. The community felt like a second home, a family. We were so connected and so tight-knit that was all I knew. After school, we would go to the same park. We would go to the same after-school activities. In school, we were with each other for hours and hours. So we were family. We were not just neighbors, but we were truly friends. My world felt so small, but so safe. All I knew was my house, my primary school, my friends, my mom, and not much more about the world. That was my reality. It was literally my small village in Barcelona. I didn't even know about other cultures existing. In our community, it was literally my Nigerian family, we had a Gambian family, another Asian family, and that was pretty much it. And a Latin American family. We grew up in a house where we spoke Catalan, Spanish, Yoruba, and English as well. So multiple languages were always part of our upbringing and our life. So my family involves me as the middle sibling, obviously the glue of the family. And then I have an older sister who is about 10 years older than me, and my younger sister who was just 2 years apart with me. I also have my mom and my dad, which we all grew up together up until when we then moved to the UK. My big sister at 18 was able to get a trip to the United Nations in New York to speak and present on her essay that she wrote for an application. Imagine being in a small village in Barcelona where you go to the same primary school. From the same primary school, you go to the same secondary school near the community. And from there, you go to the same university near your community. People did not leave the town, let alone the city, and let alone Barcelona, and then let alone Spain in general. So my sister going to a whole different continent was so big, and my whole world opened up. She got to go to the UN in America, and I remember sitting with my younger sister and my mom. We actually went to our neighbor's house and we put on the TV and we sat down and we watched her proudly speaking in the United Nations embassy. We were so encouraged and could not believe what we were seeing. My whole world was changed. I felt pride, I felt just a sense of ambition, and really encouraged that there's so much out there beyond my small village. There's such a big world out there with endless opportunities. My sister then went on to study for her undergraduate degree at Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona in interpretation and translation. That's where she learned her love for languages, which to this day she has become a polyglot, speaking over 10 languages fluently and learning more and more every day. She was able to stay in Barcelona, and while doing her undergraduate degree was able to do the Erasmus Mundus program, which is an exchange program that allows students to study in other countries and universities in Europe. She went to Germany, Austria, and traveled all around Europe to study for her education. She now speaks languages like Arabic, Chinese, French, and has completely opened up her horizons abroad. My big sister is such an inspiration inspiration to what I do today and to what we are and how we've gotten here today, especially in terms of education and opportunities outside of our community. Later on, after completing her undergraduate degree, she then decided to complete her master's degree at Georgetown University. She then decided to apply and get a full ride scholarship worth $200,000 to study at Georgetown University. That was another pathway into amazing opportunities and endless possibilities for her and for my family. God really did his big one and helped her to access incredible networks, incredible professors, and a world-class education at a top American institution on a full ride scholarship. Financial aid is such a big part of her story, my story, and my younger sister's story, and it has completely enabled us to access amazing opportunities and academics abroad. In Spain, my mother made sure we lacked nothing and worked tirelessly for us to have amazing opportunities. My sister and I were blessed. In Spain, we were doing swimming lessons, we had skating lessons, dance lessons, we were exposed to different languages and extracurricular activities. I was encouraged to explore my creative talents in arts and really making sure that we were exposed to all the opportunities that we were able to receive. Once we left that country, coming to the UK was nothing but difficult. Once we arrived to the UK, we stayed in one room in a 2-bedroom house in East London in the UK. Our room was in the upstairs floor and there was another family living downstairs. We were there for a few months before things changed. That transformation from being in a community in Spain and knowing that you're grounded in what you've been brought up with and who you know and your friends and your family, to now being in a new country, in a foreign land, and having to survive and live with completely different standards. It was really difficult and challenging for a 12-year-old 13-year-old young girl. So obviously, my mind being already exposed to the incredible opportunities available outside our world and being someone who has been brought up with an ambitious mindset, I thought, let's see what could be possible outside other countries. So we moved from Spain to the UK in 2019 and I was about 12 years old. We first got here and it was a complete drastic change to my life, to my education, to my family situation, and to overall my mindset and perspective on life. It was very difficult adapting to a new culture in the UK, a new weather, and a new community of people who were completely different to what I was used to in my small village in Spain. Regardless of that, God saw us through it all. But my next biggest challenge was about to start. So there was this one day I was looking and I was talking to my sister and she mentioned that she knew someone who went to a school called United World Colleges. This is an international boarding school based in different countries around the world with campuses scattered in different locations. When she said this, my head had a light bulb moment. I was completely drawn and excited to join this international boarding school, wanting to leave the realities I was facing in the UK. So at 13, I had my first serious application to an international boarding school worth thousands of dollars in another country. The application to United World Colleges was difficult. It was complicated and very rigorous, involving multiple steps before I got to the final stages. Involving essays, I had to do a presentation for a project. I had to write multiple answers to in-depth questions such as, who would I like to meet if they were still alive? Why do I want to join this school? What does change and impact mean to someone like me? At 13 years old, this was completely out of my scope, but by God's grace, I got to the penultimate stage of the application process. This involved an interview with about 6 or 8 different interviewers who were asking me questions in different fields and different sectors of my application. That day was life-changing. I came in unprepared and not realizing the opportunity that I had lost in that moment. I prayed, I asked, I just really prayed and I waited unto the Lord to see if this would bring me the breakthrough that I've been waiting for. I really wanted to get into this place because it meant freedom, it meant a new life, and it meant I could really explore the world just as my sister did. A few weeks go by and I check my emails and I see that we're sorry to inform you that you have been rejected. When that email came in, I felt so disappointed. That rejection really hurt deep because it was my first application and I was really worried and really hoping that they would take me. I was really planning on leaving the country. The school I wanted to go to was in Japan and I was so excited to actually get to learn and experience a new culture. The disqualification was purely because of a lack of preparation, because I was not ready and I did not know what I was actually doing when I was applying. However, that was the turning point that completely changed everything for me. The penultimate stage was the interview, and after that, I would have had to go to Spain to meet with the interviewers and the rest of the applicants and see if I would get in. I was this close to entering a life-changing opportunity, and they said no. It was very difficult on my part because I had to now let go of something that I desperately wanted and I believed that I had worked so hard for throughout those months. But the reality was, it was not meant to be. At 13 years old, I was not ready to leave the world to study in a different location. God's plan was always to help me out from the beginning. I just needed to wait and trust in Him to make it possible. From there, I had a complete drastic change. I did not let that rejection stop me. I took the pain and turned it into power. I took that disappointment and made it into a new strategy. It gave me more discipline and more encouragement to strive for more. So I started my new search, looking at other applications for boarding schools, looking at other international places I could study, looking at more opportunities that were out there, not just in my local environment, but beyond my local community. At 16, I was part of a Black Leadership Academy called Eastside Young Leaders Academy, based in East London. Every Saturday morning, we would go, me and my sister, and join them and have various lessons, from debate to math to history lessons. We were being molded to become leaders of tomorrow and how to really create impact in this world. By God's grace and through the support and mentorship of Eastside Young Leaders Academy, I was fortunate enough to receive 110% bursary to study at a boarding school in Cambridge. This again was a life-changing opportunity that I had never expected before, but God's plan always prevailed from the beginning. At 13, I applied and I tried. And even though I failed back then, I tried again. And at 16, I got that same opportunity that I was chasing 3 years before. Once I got into my boarding school, it was a complete new playing field. I had to completely rebrand and be at the top of my game. I got into this boarding school and was faced with a completely new environment, from new academics, new extracurriculars, new teachers, new people. Everything was a complete drastic change from my previous secondary school in London. But within those 2 years, God really helped me and grounded me into what I was trying to become and what He was making me to be. During my time at the boarding school, I participated in volleyball teams, playing in the county volleyball league, and in being my school's captain for the volleyball team. I did 3 research papers. I won the school science prize. I led in different STEM communities and societies. I was able to take the opportunity that God had given me and really meet it with preparation. When preparation meets opportunity, there's endless possibilities that you will actually receive. Preparation from 3 years before, preparation from 4 years before led to this point. And when I was in that school, I had everything I needed to succeed. Support, mentorship, training, everything that I had been built up from Eastside, from Spain, from being in my community, from being with my sisters, it all helped me for this moment. The transformation was incredible. From being in one room in the UK to now being blessed with a full bursary at one of the top UK boarding schools. So my first year at my boarding school started. And of course, when you start year 12 or when you start sixth form, it's time to get into what the reality is. So at that point, seeing how my sister had gone to the US and the amazing opportunities there, I decided that my first choice was to study in America. I had to sit down with my tutor at the time and tell him where I wanted to study. I said that I wanted to study at Stanford University as my first choice American college for engineering. He looked at me and he said that I had zero chance of getting in, that they would never pick me, and that I shouldn't even give it a try. Those words marked me, and they really affected how I viewed my ambition, my dreams, my goals. They really affected how I thought was possible, but now being told it's not. It really made me feel discouraged and believe that I was not meant for greater things and to aspire for something ambitious. Being through that process beforehand with United World Colleges, with the boarding school I was at now, and now being told I would be rejected without even actually trying, it really marked me. It was a repeatedly and constant process of trying to apply and trying to find a way around it, but it was not possible. So in the end of year 12, I did not apply to Stanford for engineering, but I did end up applying to 5 other colleges in the States. Even till today, part of me still wonders and feels, what if I had applied? What if I had submitted an application? How would life have changed if I submitted an application and got in? What would happen if this was your case as well? How would you feel if you were told no before you could even try? If you were rejected before you could even be accepted? How would you feel if someone had taken an opportunity away from you before you could even give it a chance? They say rejection is redirection, and that's exactly what I'm here today to do. I'm building Kingdom Scholars to help students just like you who have felt rejected, confused, or insecure about applying to America or any of the top college places. The pain of being discouraged, the pain of being unsupported has fueled me to help you. I'm taking pain and turning it into power, purpose, and passion to help you get into your top American colleges. Many students feel that they are capable, but they lack the belief and the guidance to actually make it a reality. That's why I'm introducing Kingdom Scholars, which is a community that is faith-based and helps you to find your God-given purpose to achieve success and excellence in your education. God knows why everything happens. And perhaps that tutor telling me not to apply to Stanford was him being used by God to help me be in this position right now, to help you, to encourage you, to say that it's possible. Me getting rejected from Stanford has fueled me to be here today, to apply for my apprenticeship, which I'm doing now, to encourage other students to push for more and strive for more beyond what their teachers tell them to do. And to remind you that it's only God's plan that will work it out. It's only God's plan that will come out in the end. It's only God's will that will be done. Only God can decide the outcome in your life. When I was 13 and I was aspiring to go to Japan, that wasn't God's will for me. When I was 16 and I wanted to go to Stanford, that wasn't God's will for me either. But now I'm here to help you and to guide you through the steps that you can go through, and even be there to hold your hand when you have felt discouraged or disappointed from any of the experiences that you are having. My whole life, education has opened doors our family could have never imagined. From a small village in Spain to a top boarding school in Cambridge to right now talking to you. The opportunities are out there. You just need someone to help support you on that journey and guide you through the door. You just need someone to show you they exist and help you walk through the door. I started as Kingdom Scholars to be that person to support you, but in everything, trust in God. That's exactly how my story has unfolded today. I believe that God has a plan for your education, even if it might not be the way you expected. He knows today, tomorrow, and forever. So you getting into that school or not getting into that school, God already has planned it before. So if you are a student wanting to study in America, subscribe and hit the bell, because in this channel, I will be dropping videos weekly on exactly how to make that happen. Also, drop a comment telling me what you'd like to study. I will read every single one of them, and I pray that you have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.